Welcome back! This is our 6th lesson and a relatively short one. Now that we've covered all the sounds and tones of Pingji, we have virtually everything we need to speak Cantonese and write it down phonetically. Once again, I'm going to do a two-parter, where I speak and you write down what I said, and then where I give you words and you speak them out loud. For our wrap-up session, I'm going to make this simple. I'm going to say the word si in 6 tones, then I'll repeat them again. Finally, we'll go over the answers one by one. In Pingji, you don't need to remember the tone numbers, only their contour and how you'd spell them. So let's start. Si, 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 si. And I'll repeat. Si, 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 si. And here's one more time with a female voice.
C, 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 C.
And one more time.
C, 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 C.
Okay, let's go over the answers one by one now. The first one was si, si.
C, C.
Hear that rising tone? That was the high rising tone. We need our high letter H at the end here. The next one was si, si.
C, C.
That was our falling tone, so we use the letter S with its falling slant. Next is si, si.
C, C.
This was our very first tone, the high flat tone, represented here by an H because S is one of the 4 special letters that uses an H instead of an apostrophe. Our next word was si, si.
C, C.
This is the exact opposite, right? S-I-J, the low flat tone. S-I doesn't end with a consonant, so we didn't have to use any of the special spelling rules here, just the letter J. The next one is si, si.
C, C.
Our last flat tone, and the one in the middle. Alright, and the last one was si, si.
C, C.
I know you could probably figure this out by process of elimination, but hopefully you can figure it out even without that. S-I-Z, Z representing the low rising tone, which again you could see by the shape of the letter Z. Please try to pronounce these yourself, and pause if you need to, because the last part of this practice session will have you go pronounce old words from older lessons, but this time with tones added to them. See if you can pronounce them correctly. For this part, I'm going to let you pause and take as much time as you need to pronounce all these words. And then now for the answers.
4杯水
4 glasses of water.
西式菜
Western food.
牛奶
Cow milk.
小貓
Little cat.
你好
Hello. So if you got those, great. If not, just go back and listen again and practice until you're able to repeat the sounds you've heard. And for the next part, we're going to practice listening. I'll say the word, followed by Mrs. Google, and your goal is to spell what you hear. I'll do a brief pause after repeating the word to give you time to pause the video and spell it out yourself. The first word is the word for fish. Yu, yu.
魚魚
That was the high rising tone. The next one is chun, chun.
村村
This is the high flat tone, and it means a stream. The next one is shut, shut.
雪雪
That's S-Y-R-T, R being the mid flat tone. And this word means snow. This one is chuck, chuck.
卓卓
By the way, while this does mean table, it's usually only in written form. I just chose this word for its combination of sounds. To actually say table in Cantonese, it's tight. Finally, we have zheng, zheng.
像 장,
And that's Z-O-O-N-Q. So here we have the low flat tone. And because we end the word with a Q, that transforms into an NQ. And now we have our last one, yang, yang.
양, 양,
That means sheep or goat. And hopefully you could hear the falling tone, and the falling tone is represented by the S. Alright, now we're going to switch back to pronunciation. So I'm going to give you a word and ask you to pronounce it again. How would you say this? I'll give you a couple seconds. So this is Pingji.
팽지, 팽지,
And this is actually how you spell Pingji in Pingji. Why is it spelled so differently when I refer to it in English? Well, that's basically to avoid butchering it to the untrained eye. So it's spelled the closest way possible for English letters. Next, we're going to go over multiple words that have the same sounds but different tones. Same, but different. Take a moment to pronounce these two words. Okay, so the one on the left is hai.
하이,
And that's one of the most important words, and that's to be. As in, I am a person, or you are, or he, she is. It basically works for all of those. The second word is rising tone, hai, hai.
하이,
And that's saying I'm at someplace, so it's used for location. For example, I am home. So it's important not to mix these two up. So just to test your ears, hai. Which one is that? What about hai? Hopefully by now, you don't need me to tell you to answer anymore. Let's look at another one. The words for Japan and 1/2. Again, give it a try and pronounce them first. So these words were Yapun,
얏본,
meaning Japan, and Yatbun,
얏본,
meaning 1/2. And at this point, I just want to ask, if you were memorizing these vocabulary words, isn't it easier to memorize these as they're written rather than how they're written below? Anyways, let's move on to our next one. These are the words for Sunday and Monday. You might remember them from the very beginning of the series. Once again, they differ by just a tone. All weekdays start with the word Sinkei, which means week. After that, you say 1, 2, 3, etc. for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. But Sunday, it's the word for sun, yat. Anyways, go ahead and try to pronounce these two as well. So on the left, we have Sinkei yat, versus on the right, Sinkei yat. And again with the Google voice, we have Sunday
星期日,
versus Monday.
星期日,
And then again, I'm just going to play them one after another.
星期日,星期日,
And then finally one more. Remember how we had all those different ma's during the tone lecture? Well, you might recognize these ones. The one on the left means mom, while the one on the right is your paternal grandma. Try saying these as well. Feel free to pause and I'll give the answers in a second. Okay, and so for the answers, for mom we have mama. Now I'm going to play the Google version, and you might notice something weird here.
마마, 마마,
What do you hear? Hopefully if your ears are sharp by now, you might have noticed that they're both the same tone. Both mama, both high flat tones. But in actuality, you pronounce this as mama, so here Google's not really accurate. And then on the right, we have mama.
마마.
And again, that's your paternal grandmother. And that's our last exercise. Now before moving on, I just want to address a question that you might be having. Why does the word for mother actually change tones, even though it's the same character? That's something I'm going to discuss in our final lesson, which is our lesson on miscellaneous stuff. And that will also be our final lesson in this series. Hope to see you then.